Hello, 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 hello. How are you? Let me get this thing out. I don't need this here. How are you doing? So, I'm afraid, my friends, we are online again. Okay, not the first time for us, but you know, we'll just have to do it. And there's some good things about it. You guys can be sitting in your pajamas and have hot chocolate whilst you're listening to stats. So, there's some good things about it. Right, so as I said, now I mentioned, we're starting a new topic, which is, we often call it statistics or stats. But in grade 9, for some reason, we often still call it data handling. It's the same thing, okay? What is data handling? Well, we've got information, let's say results of students, height of people, number of confirmed corona cases in the Eastern Cape. And we want to just process this information and get some conclusion, okay? So we have to create tools that will allow us to assess and analyze this information. This first lesson really is, well, I won't say it starts as a recap from grade 8, but we already in this lesson we're going to learn something that we didn't do in grade 8. So the first thing, I mean, by the way, we're in page 290. And in the first page, there's like a whole explanation of things like data, survey, questionnaire, a whole bunch of concepts that you come across in statistics. To be honest, we don't often use all of it, or let's say at this point, grade 9, it's not essential, apart from these two things which I wrote and they are important. So I'm going to spend a minute explaining the difference between discrete data and continuous data. They're both type of data, like numbers, but they are a bit different. Let's start with continuous. Discrete. Let's start with discrete. What is discrete data? So discrete data could be, for example, number of students doing hockey, number of students doing rugby, number of students doing cricket, water polo. We're looking for a number. It's basically data that is either 1, 2, 3, 5,000, 15. You don't have something between 2 and 3. You can't have 2.5 a person. That is not a discrete data. Okay, so anything that can be counted in like what we call integers, that's a discrete data. Okay, so that's one kind of data. Another one is maybe, let's say, you're asked to put, sometimes you go to the shops, I know they do it in builders or other shops, and you have to fill up a form like at the end, how happy you are with the service. And you've got, let's say, 1 to 5, okay? 1, very unhappy, 5, very happy, 2, a little bit more happy, 3, middle, 4, okay? So that's also a discrete number. You don't have 2.1. It's either 2 or 3, okay? Discrete. Continuous data, that's where you can have in between. So a good example will be mass. So my mass sometimes is 70 kilograms, sometimes it could be 70.5 kilograms or 70.2 kilograms. My height, my height is 1 meter 76, or maybe between 76 and 77. You can have somewhere in between. So anything that has in between is called continuous data. Both of these data are important. Okay, I'll pause here and add some more concepts. Okay, guys, now we're going into the heart of the lesson. So, one of probably the most popular, common, and maybe even most useful tool that we develop for statistics is the average. Now, the thing is, the average, there's actually 3 kind of averages, and I think in grade 8 we only really spoke about one of them. I might be wrong, but this is one definite thing that we're adding. So when you say average, there's actually 3 kind of average. There's the mean, the mode, and the median. I just want to make sure we can see it. Yeah, just about. Maybe I'll move it a little bit to here, okay? So all these 3, mean, mode, and median, are types of averages, okay? And we need to be able to calculate each one of them for a certain question that I've got here, okay? And I'll explain them and doing that, calculating them for specific questions. So what is this question? We've got a certain store, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 customers that came and rated that store in 2 categories. One in the appearance of the store, what does it look like, and the service given. And they gave 1 to 5, okay? So 5 being great, 1 terrible, okay? So we've got a bunch of data here. and we want to calculate the mean, mode, and median for those two categories. Each one of them has a different category. So let's write down in blue. Okay, so we're going to have appearance of store, and then we're going to have service given, I'll just write service. And we're going to have to calculate, the mean, the mode, and the median. Okay, mean for each one of those. So I'll put a line here. Okay, so we've got mean, mode, median, mean, mode, median. Mean, mode, median. Okay. Now, the mean is what you already know how to calculate mean. You learn it in prep school, okay? We just add them up, okay? So we do 5 plus 4 plus 5. I'm just going to make sure I use the right data, okay? Because this is, when I'm calculating the mean of the appearance of the store, I want to use this data, not that. Okay, so 5 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2. I'm adding them, adding, and divided by how much? Correct, by how many customers came. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So adding all up, dividing by 11. Okay, if you don't mind, I'm gonna not do that. The guys did it for me here. Okay, what we end up having is 43 divided by 11 equal 3,91. Now, that really, and normally as the rule of thumb is that you give 2 decimal places. Unless you're asked to give 1 or more or whatever, if you're not asked, then usually give 2 decimal places. That's true for maths and for science as well. Okay, so that's pretty obvious, okay? The same thing here for the mean, okay? I'm going to add 5 plus 2 plus 5 plus, also divided by 11, of course, okay? And what they got, it was 29 divided by 12, and that gives us 2,42. Okay, so far so good. Now, the mean is really what we normally call day-to-day life average, okay? But we said really averages can be 3 things. So mean is one of the averages, and then there's 2 other things, mode and median. Now, what about this? What does that mean? How do we get the mode and the median? Right, let's start with the mode. Mode is the number or the data that repeats itself the most common data. So here is very clear. Look, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 fours. 7 fours. That's definitely the most popular, most common appearance of the store rating. So the mode is 4. Okay? I'm not even going to count the rest. You can see it's lesser than. But service given, okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 fours, but we also have 1, 2, 3, 4 fives. Okay, 2s and 3s we have less. But the thing is like a tie between the 4 and the 5. So which one is the modal? Which one is the mode? Is it maybe a mean of between them? No. What we have is 2 modes. It's called a bimodal set of data. Okay, bimodal. That means there's 2 modes, 4 and 5. I'm just gonna check that I've got it right here. Bimodal. We're gonna have 2 modes. Okay, 4 and 5, bimodal. Okay, and that leaves us with the median. Okay, I think I'm probably just gonna erase a little bit to make us some space for this. Okay, so to find out the median, what is the median? Median is the middle value. It's the values that are in the middle. So you might say, oh, okay, so the value in the middle here is like one of those. Is this one of the values in the middle? Okay? No. It's the middle value if you put all the data in the order. So that's what I did now whilst you were waiting. Okay, not waiting too long. I just matched it into the table. You see? What I've done here, I rearranged this data in the right order. So first I've got a 2, then I've got a 3, okay? Then I've got 7 4s, and then a 5, and then 2 5s. And I just put them in order. So now we need to find out the middle value here. I've done the same thing here, okay? I've got a 2, I've got 2 3s, then I've got 4 4s and 5 5s. So I have to rearrange them. That's probably the thing that takes the longest in these kind of questions. Next thing, I need to find the value in the middle. Now there's two ways of doing it. There's one which is kind of very easy to understand, but it can only be done when I have small amount of numbers. So I'll show that to you here. And then the other way I'll do probably in a different video when we look at bigger data. So to find the middle value, I'm just going to cross them as I go along, right? So I'm going to cross those two extremes, then I'll cross those two, and those two, and those two, and those two, and then I find the middle value. So the median is 4. That's the median for the appearance of the store. The same thing I'm doing here, crossing these two, crossing these two. I just find the middle, okay? Makes sense, right? No big deal, okay? And again, I got a 4. Is that right? I think I might have made a mistake here. Okay. Now, I wanted to show you something. Okay, I'll show you again. All right, so here the median is also, I believe, I'm just going to pause for a second just to make sure I got it right. Yeah, okay, so that's fine. The middle value was indeed 4. Okay, so I've got two medians which are 4. But I want to actually make things a little bit more complicated. Let's say one of these 4s was actually a 5. So I'm going to change. I'm going to make a change now. Let's change this 4 into 5. Obviously, the mean will change. Everything will change. Not going to worry about that. I just want to look at the median. So 1 over 4 became 5. That means this 4 must be now 5. That's actually not going to help me. Okay, now I'm going to make things even more complicated. Okay, I'm going to make things even more complicated. So let's say that was actually a 5, and I'm going to add another set of data. Another customer came and let's say said that he graded 5. So everything else remained the same. Okay, that 4 became 5, and now I've got another 5. Okay, so now I need to redo this whole scribbling situation to find the median. Okay, hope you guys can excuse my hands. Okay, so I've got the new set of data. Okay, we find the median. Right, we'll cross that and that. We 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 cross that and that. But now we end up with 2. So what do? We just cross them both, and then what's the median? Okay. The reason why this is different is that now we have an even number. Here, before we had an odd number. When you have odd number and you cross out the outsides, you're always going to have 1 in the middle. You know, if you have a group of 3, okay, there's always going to be 1 in the middle. If you have a group of 5, again, you've got a group in the middle. If you've got a group of 4, who's in the middle? It's between those two. So the same thing we do here. If you have an even number, okay, then the median is going to be the one or the mean of these two values. So in this case, the median will be equal to 4 plus 5 divided by 2, which is 4, 5. Okay? If we have an even number of data, the median will be the mean between these two middle-ish values. Okay? I'm going to stop here and clear out. There's one more thing I want to do in this video, and then we'll carry on in another video. Actually, this video is already too long, so I'll stop here and I'll make another video for our next lesson.